Hey guys, I'm Victor Franzoni. I'm racing Indy Lights for Junko's Racing Car 23, and you guys are hearing the Indy Sports Car podcast.
Perfect.
Welcome, ICP fans, to another episode of the Indy Sports Car Podcast. What's up, Izzy?
Hello.
Christian?
Special Tuesday edition in the daytime.
Definitely, and that's for one reason only. Welcome, Tristan Vautier. Back to the show again. What's up, Tristan?
Hey guys, how are you?
Doing very well, sir. Thank you for coming back on, man. Always good to have you
on. Thank you. I'm happy to be back.
Well, you never left. You just took a quick break, that's all. You're always around. I mean, I always run into you. So. Like, hey. Yeah, that St. Pete Bridge earlier, I didn't expect to see you. I was like so dead, and I seen you. I kind of felt bad because you were talking to a couple, and I kind of just like, I was like, yeah, get out of here. What's up, buddy?
No, it was good. It was good to see you, man.
Yeah, I was tired that day. Oh boy. But we got the 6 hours of the Glen coming up this weekend, right? So big race for IMSA and for you yourself. So, how are you feeling going in, man?
Yeah, it's a big one for us. Obviously, we had a bit of a break, missing Long Beach and Mid-Ohio, and obviously we didn't want to retire in Detroit. Just got a gearbox issue, so looking forward to that one. Want to see the checker. That was a solid race. Obviously, we want to be at the front like always, but we're really focused on executing and having a solid finish behind us after that one. So I love the track, man. We had a test there in April, and it's so cool in the prototype since they repaved it. So much grip. It was really fun. So it's always a cool race because it's a bit between a proper endurance and a sprint because it's 6 hours, which is quite long, but it goes by really fast, and there's no real time for recovery if there's an issue. So you have to be perfect, and no, we're really excited. Matt was feeling good at the test as well, so just very impatient to be there.
I hear you.
It's coming.
Yeah, you guys do the boot at the Glen as well, right? You guys don't cut it short, right?
Yeah, no, we don't cut it short. It's the full track, so it's mainly high-speed corners, obviously. So that's what the track is famous for. So it's really perfect for a prototype car.
Definitely. How are you liking prototypes so far this year?
It's good for me. I mean, it had been 2 years since 2016 that I was driving pretty much only GTs, except for my Indycar return last year. So it's kind of cool to drive something that's in between an Indycar and a GT.
Right on.
The cars are real proper fun. They're proper race cars, and it's actually interesting this year having to juggle between the GT and the prototype. It's much easier to go from the GT to the prototype than doing the step back every time. But no, I don't know, especially the Cadillac. It's just I mean, I've driven other LMP prototype cars. The car is just really fun. I like the driving style of the car. I like how the way you have to drive it to push for a good lap. I really like. So it's been really cool so far.
That's awesome to hear, man. I mean, as long as you're having fun doing it, right? That's the most important part.
Yeah, it is. I mean, obviously, we're all results focused and career focused, but the fun behind the wheel is very important because that's also what makes you do well. You do better when you're having fun. So it's for sure it's a big part of it. Yeah.
Definitely. Christian, do you have a question?
Oh no, I was just gonna say that I think what I love so much about Tristan is his ability to find himself back in a seat somewhere, no matter in what series. And I think that speaks a great deal to your level of talent and to your level of commitment and your versatility, and being able to jump into this car, to jump into that car, and still do well, So I think that's really cool about him. But what would you say outside of the prototype has helped you most in the prototype? What type of racing, other than what you're doing now, has prepared you most for what you are doing now?
Oh, I mean, even if many of the races on the schedule are relatively short, we're still doing endurance racing. I think where I've learned the most about endurance racing is in GTs from 2016. I'd say the straight up driving part of the prototype is not the most challenging when you step back from or step down from IndyCar, because you know what downforce is about. But endurance has a lot more to it than not a lot more, but there's a lot of different things that you need to manage compared to IndyCar, including the traffic, which was good for me to be in a GT car before, because then when you arrive on the GT cars in a prototype, you kind of know, or you have a better anticipation of maybe how they are going to react. So I think the GT taught me quite a lot about it, and yeah, the endurance racing I've been doing for the last couple of years in general has taught me a lot for what I'm facing this year.
Absolutely.
That's
yeah. That absolutely is, man. I watched some of these videos, and just watching the prototype cars coming up on the GT guys, and I'm like, how do you anticipate, what this guy's about to do? And you guys are coming around so much faster than they are, but you seem like you've got a good handle on it.
Yeah, I mean, you say that until the next time something happens, right? It's sometimes it can be a bit out of your control. It also depends on the series you race in. Like, I was racing at the Nürburgring 24 last month, and there you're driving a GT car, but it's like you're a prototype because you got much, much smaller and slower GT cars or sedan cars on the track. And on this series, particularly at this race, you have some very, very unexperienced drivers, and sometimes they are very unpredictable. I mean, you can have some unpredictable drivers in IMSA, but the overall level is a bit higher, or much higher than, for instance, in that race. And in that instance, at the Nürburgring 24, you got some cars that are really unpredictable, very unexperienced, and then there is a bit more that's out of your control, and therefore there's a bit more risk management, and you have to take a bit more margin. So it's you cannot say too much. You cannot rest on the fact saying like I got a good handle on it, because it's never given. Like, it can always catch you off guard. So it's because obviously you rely on somebody else as well. So it's a lot on both drivers, the one being overtaken and the one passing. So it's never easy, even if sometimes it does look easy.
Right.
Well, I mean, the most talented drivers out there make it look easy, right?
Yeah, I guess. Seems like it.
You're too humble. You're too humble, buddy. but it's a good trait, though. It's a good trait. I mean, I do have a question, but I don't want to alienate Missy there. So, Missy, do you have a question for Tristan?
You can go ahead and answer your question. It's fine.
Oh, well, the only question I was, I mean, obviously, when you drive in GT and then you drive in the prototype, you know the braking distances for both, so you can anticipate a lot better in the LMP1, obviously, because they can brake a lot deeper than the GTs. So, I mean, but on the Nürburgring, I guess that doesn't really come into play. But I mean, does that still transfer over? Like when you're in the LMP1, like say, okay, you're doing a long endurance race, 24, it's nighttime. I guess it's a two-part question that I have. I just want to get these two questions out so then I can throw it over to Missy so she can talk a little bit. But so would you say that, racing in the GT before you get in the LMP1, does that experience transfer a lot better into the LMP1 to even anticipating, right up to their braking lines? And then being my second part was that is, during the 24, like during the nighttime, are you hesitant to flash your high beams at them to move over because you don't want to blind them, or are you just like on that button, like get out of my way? So yeah, that's my two questions.
Yeah, it's a fine line, to be honest. So first part of the question, I think it's a bit what I was saying. Being in GT, just helps you once you're in the prototype to understand how a GT driver is going to think about being overtaken and all of that. But regarding the flashing, it's a fine line because you want to make sure people see you coming. But yeah, you can easily blind them, and for them, it's once the lights are flashing, it's very hard for them to know where you are. And I've learned that because I've spent a lot of time in the GT cars, and I've seen some prototype drivers like flash the hell out of me, and also it makes you more pissed off than anything, and you don't want to help as much all of a sudden when they do that a lot. So it's a fine line between. I think it can be good to flash a bit early, when you're still far behind, so they know you're coming. But once you're making the move, I don't think you're giving much help by flashing. So I tend to try not doing it too much. Sometimes, you're a bit hyped up in the car, and maybe you're a bit too easy on the button. But I try. I mean, knowing what it is for the GTs to have the prototypes flashing behind, I try to actually remember that and behave myself, because I think in the end you help yourself by doing that. So yeah.
Great answer. Right on. Missy, it's your turn.
I just want to know, what's been your favorite track that you've raced on so far this year, and which one are you most looking forward to coming up?
I'd say Sebring. I really like this track. There's just something about it because it's so many different types of corners, fast, slow, bumpy, not bumpy. It's also tricky because you got to set up the car for certain parts of the track and compromise in others. So I just really like it, and also the lap is very, very long. So putting a full lap together is not always easy. So I think it's a really good place. I really look forward to Watkins, to be honest, because I think it's a very well adapted track for the prototypes in terms of it has so much grip and so many high speed corners. So I'm really looking forward to that one, probably the most on what's remaining on the schedule.
Right on.
I don't blame you, man.
Are you going to miss not going to Lime Rock this year?
I'm actually going to be in Lime Rock because I'm going to race in GTD there with Kenny Abu in the CERN Energy One racing car.
Oh, right.
So it's going to be actually a lot of fun because, I mean, the track is fun, the race is fun, but it's also I'm going to be back with my buddy, my mate, like we say, because he's Australian, with Kenny, and we're just super close friends, and we really enjoy racing together. So I really look forward to that, both on the sporting side and the human side of it. So I'm very excited for that. Yeah.
All right on. I was thinking like, oh, Tristan's in the LMP1, I won't see him at Lime Rock this year, but now I will. So yeah, that's cool. Right on. So if you're heading to Lime Rock,
I'm doing that one and VIR as well. Yeah.
Oh, right on. Okay. So if you're heading to Lime Rock, or if you have the means to, I definitely highly recommend it because it's just an awesome day at the track and a lot of great racing. But yeah, definitely say hi to Tristan when you're there. Christian, do you have anything?
Well, no, man. I just to talk a little bit. I mean, your run last year when you came back to IndyCar. I didn't get a chance to tell you; these guys did because you were on with them. But hell of a drive, man. And you were yeah, you were pushing it. I definitely want to see you back. Do you have any plans at any point to come back? Because
I mean, it's not really a plan, It's whether the opportunity shows up or not. To be honest, I don't give up. I'm still in touch with Team. The situation right now is there is half of the grid is professional rides, and the other half is rides where you have to pay to get the seats. And there's not a lot of turnover on the pro rides because the older guys are in their seats and they're still doing a good job, and teams like to have experienced drivers, especially for oval racing. So therefore, there's not a lot of openings. When there is, or if there is, it's easier for the guys who have been under the eyes of the race team the whole season to get those rides. So it's a bit of a circle like that. But I keep pushing, to get these one-off opportunities like I got last year. When and if something happens, to keep my name on the list. And for sure, what I did last year had a good impact. I got some teams, talk to me like at some points where they were maybe going to need somebody for a one-off. And all of that, it did not really happen, but I'm still, pushing to stay on the radar. And, part of it is also making sure I deliver when I'm in the prototypes, and that I'm always up front. I mean, you see guys like Pagano who made it back to IndyCar thanks to their performance in sports cars. So no, definitely not giving up. Do I have a plan at the moment? No, I'm trying to get an opportunity. And to be honest, I sound really busy with the sports cars. I'm racing almost every weekend.
Right.
So that keeps me busy, and my focus is pretty much on doing as good as I can in sports cars. So if an opportunity shows up, even if I'm not in an IndyCar every weekend, people are like, wow, look at what this guy's done, and remember what he's done when he was in the IndyCar is probably a good one to give a shot to. So that's kind of my vision and my plan at the moment.
Yeah.
I like your attitude, bud.
Yeah, and definitely nobody has forgotten, that's for sure. you are definitely a fan favorite. Whenever a seat comes up, everybody screams your name, buddy. That's
Thank
for
you.
Sure. Definitely a fan favorite to be one of the drivers to come back into the series. And now the series is growing, hopefully some more teams for next year, and maybe some more opportunities, hopefully. And hopefully we get some of the other drivers out of there belong, and maybe more drivers, more openings. Yeah.
Let's see.
I mean,
We'll see.
Carlin could have a full, 2 seats next year, hopefully. Maybe. Just throwing a team out there.
We shall see. We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah. Every show I got to kill Kimball. So anyway, now Tristan,
Leave Charlie alone, Frank.
Oh, okay, I will. Tristan, have you ever screamed at your engineer, "Why can't I learn?" over a radio while they're telling you to come in when you're doing? Yeah.
I didn't get it, man. That was, I'm French. Like, our sense of humor is a bit strange. What did you say?
Okay, my sense of humor is last year, Chip told Chilton to come in early, just because, right? There was really no reason other than I guess he didn't want him to crash the car up since he hasn't yet, because it was whatever. So, and over the radio, Tristan goes, Max Chilton goes over the radio, "But why can't I learn?" Right? So it's been just a running gag on here. I doubt you heard the radio transmission or recording that they played of that, but it was hysterical. I've never seen that before. But I was just wondering if you ever said that to your engineer as he's asking you to come in early for no reason.
Well, my engineers usually don't ask me to come in early for no reason. So far now, I don't have to say that over the radio.
Right. And when you do, it's time to reevaluate what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Really got to think about life at that point, right? Just take a second to think about life.
So the answer is no. Tristan's never been in that situation to say that, and I didn't think he would. And that just goes to show you something, doesn't it? Somebody's not there that belongs there, and somebody is there that doesn't. That's all. That's why I look at it. But we want you back, buddy. Hardcore. But we're really enjoying watching IMSA, and also over in the Blancpain series. Are you? You're still doing races for ACA ASP?
Yes. Yeah, getting ready for the 24 hours of Spa. So that program is going good as well. So yep.
And I always say, I think we talk every year right before you do Spa, and then I go on like a 10-minute, I love Spa. So I'm not going to do it this time, but I'm jealous.
Yeah, Spa is good. Spa is good.
Yeah. I mean, how much do you love wet weather racing, huh?
It's good. It's entertaining. It's you can make the difference, but there's also, like there's a lot more happening when it's wet racing, and I think it's good because in Europe, they are not as reluctant as in US to always cancel the races when it rains, and I enjoy that. About Europe, the tracks are maybe also more favorable to that because there's more runoff and maybe they're less dangerous. But no, it's always fun for me, especially it's always good training, racing a lot in Europe. We race more in the rain, so it helps me for when it does rain in USA. So I enjoy it a lot.
I just watched a video the other day about why Max Verstappen is so good in the rain. They were showing like some qualifying he did in the wet. And he was just really good that day. But it'd be interesting to ask you, what do you think makes a driver good in the rain? Because obviously it's a good mixture. I mean, you can't be over aggressive, obviously. And just fully filling out the line. What makes it good?
Perfect mixture of commitment and finesse, because obviously it's sliding and there's more chances to make a mistake. So you gotta have the commitment to still go. But if you have no finesse, you're just slow because obviously you're not efficient. So it's just finding that right combination. Yeah.
Right on. Right. Well, Tristan, I know you have a schedule to adhere by, and we really appreciate you coming on. I'm going to shoot over to Missy to ask you one last quick question before you head out of here, and we really want to just say thank you. Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Well,
yes, you do.
No question, Missy. Well,
you haven't talked to him in hell.
Okay.
And you ask him one question. Come on, you got something.
All the questions have been asked.
Don't ask
He's
him.
awesome.
Well, of course he is.
You see, you guys talk too much and take all the questions over.
I know.
That's what happened.
I know. I'm sorry. I take
well,
all credit.
thanks for having me, guys. Though it was good to be back. Thanks for having me.
Tristan, always a pleasure, and looking forward to the next time having you on, and looking forward to seeing you hopefully this weekend, buddy. And good luck.
Yeah, same here, guys. Yeah, thank you.
Man, kick some butt this weekend.
All
Good luck, partner.
Good luck.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Ciao. Bye.
Take care, buddy.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
All right.
Always a great time having Tristan on. Really good guy. And Tristan. See, I just did it, but not with him on there. But I did it afterwards, so that's good. I didn't screw that up.
No, you didn't.
But I was screwing it up right before I called him. Tell him missing. Yeah, I'm calling Tristan.
Well, that's the time to screw it up, right? Before we get on the show.
Yeah, and then well, I just screwed it up while we're still on the show. We're still recording.
Yeah, man.
Paul.
But no, I like that guy's attitude. I'm not gonna lie. He definitely got me a little fired up. I was already fired up coming on to the show today, and now
why is that? Maybe a post you did yesterday?
Why? Because I'm always fired up, Frank. Always.
Oh yeah, but you're extra fired up today.
I don't walk a day on this earth when I'm not fired up, man. And yeah, no, I am extra fired up this week because I had a really nice announcement yesterday to make, so that was pretty cool.
Well,
and
don't talk vague, man. What was the announcement?
My announcement was that I am the new brand ambassador for Gleaner's Food Bank of Indiana, which is the largest food bank in the whole state of Indiana, and serving the 21 counties, and just feeding a lot of people. They did not have a brand ambassadorship program before meeting me, which was cool. They got a hold of my story, liked what I was about. I did wine, women, and shoes for them. I've done a couple of events for them. And they just really latched onto the story because it fits so well with their mission of feeding people. So it's good now to put a face to it and to actually have me as the poster child for this, and to be able to represent possibility. And that's what I want to do is represent possibility for those in less fortunate situations, those who are maybe food insecure, who don't see a way out of their current situation, who don't see that there's something after that, who don't see that if you just keep pushing, there is something after that. And so that's what I'm here to do. And that's great, man. I'm ready to put that whole community on my back and they can take the ride with me. So
That's
really
awesome,
excited, man. Feed some people.
Well, just
You're in the great.
I mean, you can't say nothing but good things about that, man. I mean, it's just awesome. It's very awesome to see, and just a lot of good that you're doing, and hopefully, well, not hopefully, but definitely, you'll bring a lot more attention to it, and that will in turn bring a lot more, money for food for more people.
Right, absolutely, man. Because that's kind of my thing anyway, right? Is that I'm not going to be the first African American to run the 500, or the first veteran, or the first diabetic, but what I can be though is the first guy who was homeless.
Christian. The first Christian, maybe, right? I mean, if you want to be the first for something, you can be the first Christian.
Yeah. No. But I'd much rather be the first guy who was formerly homeless, because that's what really shows those people that there's possibility. And
never take a second to excuse me.
Life gives you second chances. You make second chances, and you take them as far as you can go. Right.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Missy.
But yeah. She's quiet today,
isn't she?
Missy.
Sorry, I was trying to hold in a sneeze. I'm sorry about that. I didn't want to sneeze when you were talking there. That was kind of
Well, thanks for the sacrifice, right? Well, thanks for making that sacrifice, buddy. Thanks for jumping on that grenade, man.
Yeah, but then I ran away.
Appreciate you, Missy. Why are you so quiet over there?
I don't know.
See, I think it's because she has a secret crush on Tristan. So when he's on the phone, she's just.
Oh, is she swooning right now?
Yeah.
Is that?
Oh yeah, it's that French accent.
Hey, hardcore. I got you.
Well, he's easy on the eyes too. I mean, come on.
She's swooning. All right.
He's he's a very svelte man. Very. I love that word, svelte, because I've never been it, so I can't use it too
much. No, I like it, man. But all right, you guys. So, how was Road America?
Oh, was it hot, sunny? I got burned up Saturday like a hot potato. Yep. Like a hot potato.
How many of the 4,266 races did you go to while you were there?
I think we only missed one, right?
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, except for the Pro Mazda race one that was done on Friday while we were driving there. But, hey, Rob Howden and the live streaming, it's like we were there.
It's like we were there. Oh, there you go.
Yep. Only looking at a certain part of the track, though. Not tracking anybody, but, hey, you saw them, sort of. I was a bit upset with how Parker Thompson made an amazing last turn pass to salvage just a crazy of a race for him, to put him. I think he finished fourth in both races, and I think this race 2 he made it to last at one point and fought his way back. And the first race it was just a bad restart, and he kind of dropped back a bit. Not as bad as last, but he still managed to get a fourth place right at the last second there, and it was a really great pass. You've seen it being like materialized, setting up for it, but you didn't see the completion of it because then they switched away from it to show the winners cross the line who weren't racing each other at all. So I'm glad they did that. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you got to know what racing is and just stay on that camera for 2 more seconds, bro. I mean, honestly. But, I mean, beggars can't be choosers, I suppose. Because where else would you get to see it if you weren't there? So
that's a good point, too,
There's plenty of series out there that race their main races that you can never watch regardless. So, I mean, like I said, beggars can't be choosers at this point. But it just goes to show you the popularity of it. And then you see the numbers in, because I'll cycle through YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, and see what the numbers are. And YouTube is killing it in the numbers, not for nothing. I mean, there's a lot of people on Facebook, but you go on YouTube, holy moly, like tens of thousands. YouTube, I don't know why. YouTube is, And I love how YouTube is getting humongous at like the worst possible time for creators. It's like, oh yeah, now you guys come in and we're not getting paid for anything now. It's great. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just good to see.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. Well, I'm glad you guys had a good time out there. Any thoughts on the Verizon Series race, or
I got a lot
where
of
were you guys
thoughts.
sitting anyway?
We were down at is that turn 5? I think it's turn 5. I don't know why they call it turn 5. As far as I'm concerned, it's turn 3, but whatever. Yeah, it's the turn 5. You know, well, I mean, they're going to count those 2 barely kinks in the straightaway. Come on. Yeah, you got turn 1, then turn 2. They're proper turns.
Right.
You just went 180 degrees in 2 turns. That's a turn in my book. But a 20-degree, that's a turn? No? Just kind of a bend in the straightaway as far as I'm concerned. I mean, little dogleg or kinker maybe? No. Whatever. But yeah, turn 5. We were down there with Marty and the fam. Qualifying, we were in pit lane. And watching Joseph Newgarden throw down a screamer that beat Will out for the pole at 5/100ths of a second.
I thought about you, obviously, with the whole Will thing.
Yeah.
With the whole the willpower parade going awry this Sunday, but definitely thought about you.
Well, hopefully the Phil Willpower doesn't drink himself into a coma by the end of by Iowa. Didn't take it well. Did not take it well. And there was no morning practice, and I know why. I get it. They had a choice between the morning warm-up or a test. But they made a bad choice. I mean, I do like that. I like that Jay Fry and the series are really taking the driver's input and team's input into huge consideration, and the series is much better off for it. It really is. But there comes a time where the series really needs to kind of just not give them so many options and just tell them what it's going to be. And you should always have the day of a race morning warm-up for little things that might go awry or you might not catch until, I don't know, you put the power down to the car for the first time that day. Shouldn't be on the start of the race. So I'm saying. And I know it's a biased way to look at it, and I understand why they didn't, and I think it was a poor choice by IndyCar to even consider the teams and what they wanted to do. And you know the teams are going to want to test more than a half-hour morning warm-up where you really don't test much, you know?
Right.
But you should have offered both. There was time. I was there. There was a few lulls in you know, and then they just smash all the races together in blocks, and then there's a lull, and then smash everything in the blocks. You know, it was crazy. Like they you know, Pirelli would be lining up and like pulling their cars onto pit lane as the Indy Lights race is still going on, and IndyCar did the same thing. On the last day, they were pulling cars on the pit lane as this Indy Lights race was literally just still going. I couldn't believe they let them do it, but then again, Indy Lights really doesn't pit much, so unless there's a problem. So everybody, I mean, I get that, but it's just, but that's how condensed they were. Where they literally had no time in between races for the series to pull their cars out of their paddock and onto pit lane. Like that's how condensed they had all the races, but then they had laws in it too, so I don't know, space things out a little bit more, and you create that half-hour window for IndyCar, to even a 20-minute window for morning warm-ups. How much do you really need?
Right.
Honestly.
And you think that would have helped?
Well, Will would have known his header was cracked.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
honestly,
likely. Yeah,
because when he put the power down, it would have blown up in the morning, and they would have had time to replace the freaking header. Right. Problem solved, and he's in the race on, row 1, and when he puts the power down, he doesn't just drift all the way to the back, and people are dodging him and everything. It was a safety issue, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
it's a safety thing. I mean, these are one of, I mean, short of F1 and like WEC's LMP1 cars, and don't give me the DPI crap. It's still a whatever. It's a big step for IMSA, but that's not saying much in the grand scheme of the racing world. WEC's laughing at the DPI because it still doesn't even match up with their LMP2s, but whatever.
I think Frank's about to blow a header.
I'm just saying, like,
Frank's about to blow a header. It's all right.
I know.
It's all right, man.
I mean, I just
It's all
complained
right,
about
Frank.
three things. I just complained about three different things and gave my reasons why, and it's a totally biased reason why. Or to start with, anyway. If I didn't like Will, I'd be like, oh, screw it. Who cares? My guy finished, or whoever. I'm a motorsport. I'm a broadcast journalist. I'm unbiased. I mean,
You are. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
I'm a fan.
I have faith that Jay Fry will look into it and fix it. So
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the man does learn from mistakes because they're only mistakes as long as you learn something from them.
Where does that put Will in the standings now?
I think it's like 5th.
Didn't help. And I would last rant that I seen, I couldn't believe when I pulled my hair out. Santi Urrutia, why am I not in IndyCar? I can answer that, bruh. You don't get out of your freaking car. You don't get out of your car because you're mad. I hoped at himself for, I don't know what he's thinking. Don't know what he's thinking. He took Pato. I mean, he didn't take Pato out. Pato kind of did that to him next turn.
He did enough damage.
Yeah. And then Pato made sure that damage was really exploited. Next turn, retaliation maybe. I don't know. But hey, Victor Franzoni took full. I mean, Urrutia ran Franzoni off the track as he was passing them two after Santi took Pato out. So, and then Franzoni was just gone. He ghosted. And once Franzoni gets the lead, you're not catching him. You're not passing him. Sorry. First win is an emotional win for him after losing his mentor Jay Green and why he's there. Jeff Green. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jeff Green. I'm really good friends with Jay Green, exclusive motorsport head chief mechanic. So Jeff Green, Jay Green, Mazra. I'm sorry. So just that's why I keep on screwing up the first name, but still, it was emotional for him. I don't think there was a dry eye on that team, and rightfully so. They've been through an emotional roller coaster the last week and a half.
And a big RIP to Jeff.
I mean, Rob Howden said it best. If you wanted to go out leading a race in a classic race car, just not treating it like one, going, balls out. Can't ask for much more, I suppose, if it has to happen. And it was a good point, but it's always rough to take. I mean,
that's a guy who used to get me fired up too. Jeff definitely gets you fired up. A lot of people may know or not know, but his ultimate goal, he was telling me, was to be the oldest to ever drive the Indy 500, and that was always like our dialogue whenever we would see each other. So we just kind of joke, hey, you get there yet? And he was like, no. Well, did you get there yet? I'm like, well, no, but I'm coming. And he'd say, I'm coming too. And that was his goal, to be the oldest to run the 500. So yeah, rest in peace to him.
Yeah, definitely, and condolences to his family and friends. Definitely. But yeah, man. I was always wary of those vintage racing, man. Like, there's a reason those cars are not raced now much. Like, but hey, I mean, you're never going to stop people from racing cars that can go fast. Sorry, it's not going to happen. So better on a track than on the streets.
True story. That is a true story, and no better way to go. I mean, if you are going to go, then doing what you love to do. So.
Was he in an F5000 or something?
Yeah.
Wow. What a car.
But yeah, man.
But
yeah,
that's racing. It happens. I mean, it's it's just something we've accepted and long ago. Trust me, we've been through the worst of it, and it will happen again and continue to happen again. The best we can do is learn from it and try to limit it happening again as much as humanly possible. But there's only so far you can go. I mean, aside from not doing it at all, I don't know what else to tell you there. But it's never good. It's never fun. Never easy to talk about either, to be honest. Some people can brush that stuff aside pretty quickly and chalk it up to its racing. Other people are just like, yeah, but I mean, you know, I mean, we can try to not have this happen again. Maybe, you know, I mean, but how many had to go through the process before they really cracked down on seatbelts? So, you know, sometimes this progress is slow and it takes these things to happen for the progress to advance. Like, right. But it is what it is, you know. But definitely, yeah.
But you know what, though, man? Even if, you know, it's something that's going to happen regardless of safety improvements. Obviously, if safety improvements do cut down on it, exactly. But you will never get it to be where there are zero incidents at all. It's just that's the nature of the sport. So,
exactly.
You know, yeah. No matter how many improvements we make, something will go wrong at some point, and you'll have that. But yeah.
I mean, I'm always a big proponent of proactive instead of reactive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but when you do that, you run into a lot of people with a lot of opinions. And unfortunately, reactive tends to happen a lot faster than proactive. But you know, it is. And look, I'm under no illusions that we will get it down to zero, honestly. But I am, you know, logical enough where, you know, I never think innovation stops because we got here, you know.
Right.
So I don't know what technology you'll have in the future that will be available to you, but I'm on the side of, hey, it's there, use it.
Yeah.
If
I hear you.
If you could save 1 out of the 100, that was still going to happen. That's a win in my book.
Right.
But you know, I mean, it is what I mean. And honestly, like they've taken so many safety strides and technology wise and everything at this point, where whenever somebody does unfortunately, you know, lose their life doing it, we hear about it, because back 20, 30 years ago, it would happen and you wouldn't hear about it because it happened too much. So I mean, that is a testament to how much safer it has gotten. So. I mean, watching Dixon walk away from that crash last year at Indy was a pretty amazing feat, I'd say, in itself.
Right. Absolutely, man.
So you got to look at those instances too. Like, okay, so I mean, what ones did happen where if they hadn't have been proactive or reactive, either way, it doesn't matter as long as it gets done, I guess. But like I said, I'm more proactive than reactive. But then again, you can't predict the future either. So. But you know,
I hear you, brother.
I mean, it's easy to just look at the negative, not look at the positives, and then you think the whole narrative is negative. It's not. I think the narrative is more positive than negative. But unfortunately, this is just going to happen. But I'm under no illusion.
Dystopia.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what that means, but I agree.
No. You know how utopia is seeing the world as everything is beautiful around you?
Is it?
Dystopia is the opposite of that. Dystopia is seeing that everything is negative around you.
Oh, so just gloomy Gus, you mean?
Yeah.
Can you talk like I'm 5?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Missy thoughts?
A feeling of dystopia. Well, I had a question for Missy, actually.
Oh, good. I like this. Missy, spotlight is on you. Everybody's in bated breath for your next word.
Sure they are.
That's right. Well, no, you know what? So
care less if I'm here.
That is not true at all.
No, that's not true.
No, Missy, great show.
You're the glue. You're the glue that holds the show together. You're a very important cog. If no one has told you today, I'm telling you, you are an important cog in this machine, and without you, the whole thing breaks down. So yeah. But no, I did have a question for you, because something I've noticed trending this year with you it's starting to seem like Alexander Rossi's becoming like your second favorite driver.
Whoa, whoa,
And
whoa,
so,
whoa.
I'm just saying what it's starting to seem like.
There
Okay,
is
this is
no
just how it
such thing
appears.
as a
That's how
second favorite driver. There's only a favorite driver and everyone else.
And everyone else. well, no. But I definitely see a little bit of a fan side growing to you with him. And so when I saw the bad rep that he got after this week, and everybody's just trashing the guy, saying he's
we're
way
not
too
used to that at all.
And
we're not used to getting slack every week for that, right?
yeah,
Might as well jump on the Rossi bandwagon. You bring it. I don't care.
right. You know,
There was a long time ago
but
where I actually cared what people said. That's been long gone.
man. No, but man, I'm looking at some of these comments, and people are being vicious, and they've really started to turn on him.
I love it.
They've started to turn on him. He's the bad guy now.
Well, see, here's
And
the
so
thing.
I'm just wondering what Missy thought of that. As a she has supported him on some weekends on her fantasy team. I have never, not once picked this man.
I've been supporting.
But Missy has. So I'm just wondering.
So what's your point about that, Christian?
I'm just wondering what you. No. I'm just wondering what you think. Do you think this whole new bad guy thing that we're putting on him is well deserved? Do you feel that his moves are too aggressive?
Somebody's got to be the bad guy every year, you know? Like everybody has to take a turn.
I think it's more, Christian, this race. It's because Will didn't even finish one lap, so they had to go after someone. Burn.
Is that what it was? Is that what it was?
Yeah, burn, haters, burn.
I mean, he's starting to push the line, I think.
No, he's starting
With
to be himself.
his
Good for him.
his aggressiveness. I mean, that's, you know, he might have been a little over aggressive, but at what point hasn't every driver been a little over aggressive? So
yeah,
and I'm not even going to talk about St. Pete because I mean St. Pete is just
that was Wickens not knowing what he was doing.
you're still saying,
yeah.
right?
I mean, he left the door so wide open for Rossi. I mean, it doesn't matter who, if it was Rossi or anyone else, who wouldn't have took that opportunity at that? All of them would. And I don't care what they say. Yes, they would have if the door is that wide open. You're a racer. You see a door wide open like that, you're going to take it.
Right.
And if you don't, well, I guess you like second place a lot then, don't you? Right?
No,
if you don't take the risk, you're not going to get the reward.
That's true. Got to risk it for the biscuit.
Exactly.
That
So.
rhymed.
Yeah, it did, right? Yeah, it did. That rhymed.
I'm
Thanks,
a 5-year-old.
You're so excited. That rhymed. Thanks, buddy. Thanks. Yeah, but no, I just I saw an article and I didn't even get halfway through it. I just kind of looked at the title, and the title was saying IndyCar accidents. What's been the common denominator this year? There's a picture of Rossi, right? and I was just like, ooh.
There could have been a picture of Charlie Kimball, too.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we're not even. This is halfway through the season, and Rossi's been in like 3 of them. Kimball has been here since 2011, and I mean, he caused the number 1 crash that everybody remembers, and it's J.R. Hildebrand's turn 4 crash. That was Kimball who caused that, by the way. People don't ever focus on that. But
I thought I asked you to leave Charlie alone at the beginning of the show. Frank,
oh, you're right. And then I went
like,
alone. Yeah. I'm like, so Tristan, have you ever begged your crew chief to? Why can't I learn over the radio? And he's like, Frank, you have a very odd sense of humor. I don't follow. I'm like, it's okay. I didn't expect you to. The answer should have been no, but I get it.
Yeah. No, I but no, I just but it's just interesting that he's getting all this blame for it, and it was media darling last year, and now it's all turning. You get a little aggressive, and now they all turn on you. So it's just interesting.
Well, what was
And so
the
you
difference
think he's seeing more of himself, though, is what you're saying.
Yeah, don't you? Or unless he's acting like a dick. I mean, either it's a put on or it's him. One or the other. I think it's him. And I
You
like
think it's
it.
him, huh?
I like
And
it.
I like it.
I like it when you watch a guy talking over the monitor and he's just being honest.
Right.
Oh, sorry, I hurt your freaking feelings. Sorry, get over it, or stop racing because, Jesus, I mean, if you cannot be a Santa Urrutia in racing, okay? It doesn't work.
Oh, it's got a name now. Okay.
After what I saw in Road America and seen what he did when he got to pit lane and got out of his freaking car because the front suspension had to be replaced and a wing, you stay in that car. He was back out by lap 6 or 7 or 10. No, he was back out by lap 10. He crashed into Pato lap 4. So lap 5 laps it took them to get him back out there. But he had enough time to get out of the car, do an interview, a mopey dopey, whatever, mongoloid. And then I guess he got back in the car and he took off. Like, who does that? I've never seen that. I mean, unless your day is done, you get out of the car, and that's after your crew chief tells you your day is done, get out of the car. You don't just get out of the car on your own accord because your front wing is damaged now, and you're upset.
Right.
But the latter was the reason, obviously, judging by the interview.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought it was like, that's exactly why you're not in IndyCar right now and claiming DeMello is. Bottom line. Sorry.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know if anybody. I don't know if you. I mean, Christian would.
Missy.
Yeah, Missy. What did?
Oh,
you
I
say?
mean, I just stayed in the car, obviously.
Yeah.
But Missy.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he was pissed off, but he should have been pissed off at himself because he had no business trying to pass right there at that point. There was no room for you. I don't know what dimension you were looking or thought you were in, but there was no room for you there, and you shouldn't even attempted to make that pass. And I guess unless your crew chief told you to get out of the car, but other than that, if you're not, you need to sit your butt in the seat.
Will didn't get out of the car.
But you know what? But I think his attitude does have a lot to do with it, because over the past couple of years, I mean, you've seen his attitude and you've seen what he's done, to other drivers in the past. I can't say this, that move was a surprise. He's done it plenty of times in the past.
To the same freaking guy.
Oh, he's done it to Pato a couple times, yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's done it to other drivers too. But yeah.
Well, I would say every driver in Indy Lights. That's not saying much. There's 6 others, but he's crashed into all of them at least once or 4 times. I've lost count with Pato over the last 3 years with them too. I don't know how they're still best friends, to be honest, but whatever. And them being best friends just makes me go, I guess he just sucks that bad. Because would you intentionally run into your guy, your boy? I wouldn't. I mean, Christian, if I was racing against you and I went into your spot, I wouldn't take you out for it. I would race you for it. Fair.
Yeah, of course.
Even Steven style.
Right.
I don't know what that is. I just made it up.
That's Mackay. That's what that is. Even Stevens. That's
Oh, right on. It is.
That's the new nickname. He just got a new nickname, Mackay. If you're listening, you just got a new nickname.
Even Stevens Mackay.
There you go.
Even Mackay Steven. That rhymed.
I like it. But no, absolutely. There's a difference between racing your buddy hard and taking your buddy out for sure.
Yeah, and it's just the immaturity he shows on a weekly basis, yearly basis, and it's why. Okay, there's 3 things you need to get an IndyCar from Maserati Indy, right? This isn't my opinion. This is from somebody who is very, deeply entrenched. Rob Howden, whatever. So Rob says you gotta do the PR thing right. I mean, obviously you gotta have talent, which okay, Santi checks one out of these three boxes, and you just gotta be you just gotta be a decent person, a likable person. You just can't be an
Yeah.
They're not going to trust you to race against the top drivers in the world when you can't, you keep showing you can't race Indy Lights drivers fairly. Why on earth would anyone throw you in the next series? To do what? We already got enough guys we don't need taking people out. We don't need you. And hey, Kimball stays in the car when he comes back, and I mean, even Kimball can take it well, sort of. Maybe not in front of a camera, but I'd never seen him jump out of a car and throw a steering wheel after he took someone out. Because I've never seen him do that once, and every time I know it's him. So I have to assume he can at least, be mature enough not to throw a temper tantrum on pit lane after he screws up. I don't know. You can't race with your emotions, right? You got to be cool, calm, collected, mature, and you can't race with that immaturity level.
That'll get you further, yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I hear you, Frank.
Yeah, it just really irked the heck out of me. I mean, I was happy for Victor. I really was, but
I see that. Mm-hmm.
I mean, he just in one fell swoop, he has made this championship's points between Pato and Colton, which, let's face it, they are the two most talented drivers on the track. You're not, Santi. Sorry. You keep showing it. Maybe you're the best from your country, which doesn't say much for Uruguay, I guess, in the racing pool. If you're the best that comes out of that, that I was not about. I stopped myself there. Ooh, that was close. I don't know anything about his country, by the way. I don't even know what continent it's on. I'm pretty sure it's South America, but I could be wrong. It could be Africa, for all I know. It sounds like South America, though.
It is South America, yes.
Yeah. Is it on the west coast, I think?
Yeah.
Right, like above Chile, sort of?
Chile. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe I know more about your country than I let on. So it's a good thing I didn't finish my sentence.
There you go. There you go, man. But okay, so here's my question for you then, Frank. You it seems like you're having a bigger uproar over what Santi did than some of the things that Leist has done this year in the Verizon series. Like Leist has made his bonehead moves, and you just kind of But when it comes to Santi, you seem to have a deeper.
I don't expect anything out of Leist. I've never seen Matthew Leist, or whatever his name is, Leist.
Yeah.
and with head Leist, that's funny. So, yeah, I mean, he's a rookie. Though. He's a rookie. He's a rookie. He was a rookie Indy Lights driver that is now a rookie IndyCar driver. I have no expectation whatsoever of him doing anything. But screwing up and learning from it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's his rookie year. I'm not going to hold him to the coals for it. But
because Santi's not a rookie, okay.
No, it's his third year.
Okay, so because of that
and the pre-announcement of my pre-announcement that nothing's happening. Sorry, I'm going to go back and suck some more in Indy Lights, take people out for no reason at all. Change the complexion of a championship because I'm a bonehead. Things like that. Yeah. Lice doesn't have that record coming into it. If Santi didn't, I wouldn't be this upset about it because I wouldn't be expecting anything from him because it's a learning series. But, dude, you learned that in USF, not Indy Lights. How to not take a turn with someone in front of you. That's what it came down to. Where to pass, where not to pass. I mean, it's Road America, man. It's your third year here, racing in the same freak car. So, different team, so what? It's the same car. And it's you behind the wheel. So, same driver. Too many multiples here that are the same for you to keep making these trivial USF mistakes, rookie USF mistakes, by the way, that I would have no problem with seeing, you know? So
there you go. Okay.
That's my problem, and that's why Least, I could not care less what Least does right now, because I don't expect, I expect zero from him. So whatever he does, it's whatever at this point. Next year, though, if he's still in IndyCar next year, which it sounds like he's going to be, I think Foyt did make an announcement that both of them are coming back, right? Yes. So next year, if it continues and he doesn't learn from these mistakes he's making, then yeah, I'm going to kill him for it. But that's because I expect more out of him being a sophomore.
I will hold you, Frank. I will hold you to this broadcast journalist integrity.
Thank you, sir.
I will hold you to that. Okay. All right.
So
the consummate professional that you are, I'm going to hold you to do this. All right.
So I'm assuming that my answers were sufficient.
No. yes, they were. Frank. I'm just messing with you, buddy. I'm just messing with you.
No. You saying yes. I'm like, yeah, damn right they were.
Damn right they were. You see. You know.
People,
but yeah,
look, and people don't share all of my thoughts. That's fine. You shouldn't. You're different. It's fine.
Everybody is. And
I welcome, a respectful debate about anything. I welcome it. It's fun.
That's right.
I've never had a non-respectful debate from anybody who listens and then calls me out on what I might say or not agree. It's cool,
Yeah.
Because I afford you the same respect with your opinions. I'm not going to bash you for them.
There you go.
So, Missy, so what's your takeaway from Road America? Anything on your mind you want to talk about?
No, it wasn't really an exciting race or anything. I haven't had a chance to watch the replay yet, so.
Unless you're a Newgarden fan.
Well,
if you're a Newgarden fan, you liked what happened.
Oh yeah, you are.
You felt like it was a good race, yeah.
That's your boy,
yeah. You felt like it was a good one, but for everybody else, obviously. And is that your opinion because of what happened to Will, or just overall, just wasn't an exciting event for you?
Just overall.
Okay.
It just wasn't an exciting event, no.
Gotcha.
It was a green flag race.
It was, right? No caution, man. That's
rare.
Great. That was crazy, man. That was crazy. I was not expecting that. Definitely not.
No. I was like, wow. I mean, and when they're green like that, they fly by so freaking quick.
Right.
I mean, It's really hard to keep up and catch up with what's going on when really nothing is. But then again, you're there, so you don't see it all. But I mean, the monitors show so much, and then you got the app, IndyCar radio. So, but that's when you're at the track. It's always delayed about a lap and a half. And at Road America, that's a long lapse in time of what's going on and what you hear. It's like a 2-minute thing. So, but yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a long drive back. So when we got back yesterday morning, we just kind of fell out, and we didn't wake up till like 9:00 at night.
Wow.
Yeah. We were beat up.
I don't blame you.
And walking around Road America, I mean, everywhere you go is a 30-degree incline for some reason. It's like I just came down this hill. How am I going? I mean, I just went up this hill to get here. Why am I going up another hill? I don't. Pride yourself on the whole natural terrain course, but you could have smoothed out the walkways to get to the natural terrain course, couldn't you? Couldn't you bring in a few more bulldozers? I mean, you owned them, didn't he? What, Jim Thorpe, or whatever his name was, Jim Tom, whatever. They were all just one-syllable names.
Well, there you go.
All right. Anyways, but hey,
all right.
But the news came out last night that IndyCar secured a deal that will have them racing there till 2021. So that's good. That's confirmed.
I like it.
He is.
Good to see. Good to see
I
tracks
guess
being.
since the last show, Phoenix isn't returning, so. But I'm not surprised to see that.
Wait, what?
I'm
Say that
surprised
again?
I'm surprised we made it this far.
Oh. Hmm.
Phoenix will not be on the schedule next year.
And I was really interested. I was honestly interested to see for the first time if they were actually going to draw a crowd after that race, because it was a good race.
Yeah, this race, this year's was a good one. Huh. Interesting.
They might be taking Gateway success as a first-time race to their head too much. Maybe I don't know.
Any inkling to what will replace it?
No, I mean not from IndyCar, but hey, I've heard every single track under the sun mentioned. I think the most insane one came from our buddy Foe last night. Cleveland, make it a double header. Road course Saturday, street oval Sunday. And I'm like, what?
Wow.
That took the cake for the most
Wow.
absurdly never going to happen, even if Cleveland is on the schedule for the oval or road course.
Is he from the area?
The doubleheader of the mix between the two is in freaking sane and probably logistically impossible. So,
is he from the area or something?
who, Foe?
Yeah, like where did he come up with that? Like,
I don't know where. Well, he's been really drunk ever since Will header blew. Yeah, he was sloshed at the end of that race. And so after that, I had to retweet. I'm like, "Are you still drunk?" It's going to be a long week, because that took the cake for what's going to replace Phoenix. But hey, I'm not taking. I'm not talking as Foe. I almost said his first name. Almost, I call myself. He doesn't like that, but so I'll respect that request. But anyway, but yeah, that's been the most crazy replays. I don't think he meant it to be serious. Honestly.
what would you like to see?
Watkins Glen back, first and foremost, and another oval. What oval?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Well,
So what oval would you
another super speedway would be preferred, because I think the super speedway setup really opens up a lot more tracks that were closed off to us with this last car and everything, because it really does not promote pack racing, whether you want to make it or not. So that kind of brings back Las Vegas. That brings back Chicagoland. Brings back Michigan. It brings back. I can ramble off 6 more if you'd like, but you know what I mean. Some of the tracks just won't, because of the whole factor of another series that likes to, for some reason, try to. Never. I'm not going down the road. You can figure out what I was going to say next, but I can. That's going to open up another 10-minute argument, or not argument, but just a. Yeah, I'm shutting up now. But that's what I mean. Like, there's a lot more ovals that are open to us now. Going back to Fontana is even on the table now because of these of the super speedway setup and how it does not promote pack racing, which is the reason we're not there anymore. So if the reason we're not there anymore than we were is because we were pack racing, and we can't do that. We cannot pack race in IndyCar. I'm sorry. That's reserved for a slower series. That can. IndyCar can't. All right. And this new setup does not let them do it. So my logic is now these tracks are now back on the table. That's Fontana and that's Las Vegas right away. That you don't have to fight anyone for to get that. So there you go. That's my 2 cents. What's Missy, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's time to bring some of the Milwaukee. I mean, any of them, Fontana, Vegas.
Yeah, and everybody's going to cringe when you hear Vegas, and I totally get it. But
I mean, I get it. I mean,
we were back at Pocono next year.
Yeah,
I mean, you have to move on. It's just a track. It's an oval, just like the rest of them. Really, it comes down to it. So I understand the whole Vegas sentiment. I get it, really. It's a touchy, sentimental subject. I get it. So, but when you're looking at ovals that you can definitely get compared to ovals you might not be able to because of other influences, I mean, those two come to my forefront mind of definitely, without a doubt, no problem. So start there. Or go to Motegi. You know, it could be a great launch off platform. Phoenix is gone. Great. We can go to Japan now.
Or Mexico.
Yeah.
Isn't there oval in Mexico?
I believe so. Around Mexico City somewhere.
Yeah.
And I even heard the oval goes the opposite way. That's weird, but okay. I'm down. I'm always down for trying something new. Hey, who knows? It'll be odd, trust me. But I mean, it was odd watching them go the other way on the straight during the GP for the first year, but I got over it, and it doesn't even look weird to me now. So.
All right.
Well, how about you, Christian? What's your thoughts?
I agree with what?
No, I was just imitating you.
It's kind of a stretch. No, I think that all the ovals, I mean, that you guys mentioned would be a good fit. It'd be nice to see something new. I think that Japan is probably out because that's adding quite a significant amount to the budget.
Yeah, but it's time for Indy. I'm just saying it'd be a good jump off point for IndyCar to start going abroad again. They've been there. They have a relationship there.
It's too far, though. It's too far. I think for the budget, you got plenty of space in between here and.
They still have to load cars onto either container ships or jumbo jets to get to either one. So it's okay. So you're saying not go abroad just yet?
No. I mean, I'm not saying don't go abroad, but
Canada doesn't count.
Canada doesn't count to you. Okay, so if it's on the continent of North America, it doesn't count to you.
No, because that's all by truck.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it would be the same thing then if it was if you were going out of Mexico too.
Oh right, yeah. The teams are going to cross the border into Mexico, right?
Why not? Right? Why not, man?
It's a third world country. Why not?
That makes for a hell of a picture.
I'm not dogging on Mexico. It's the truth. You know, your GP decap is atrocious. So, a lot of hellish stories. There's a reason why people come here, not there. So driving Mexico City is not close, man. I mean, look on a map. You got to drive a good bit of ways down, and it's really not North America anymore. Now it's Central America. So, it's a long, desolate drive to the mountainous Mexico City. It just seems a lot easier just to ship everything in. That's all.
Right.
I mean, you can't go to Brazil on truck, and it's all sort of connected. But
sort of, kind of, in a way.
There is no road that connects north to south.
Right.
That doesn't exist. Which is an interesting story on its own. Not for this show, obviously. But if you'd like to find out, just Google it. I mean, it's an interesting story of two factions. Yep. All right, you got it, buddy. Yeah, I think we've been rambling a little bit more because I just talked about why South America and North America is not connected. So, yeah,
love it.
Final thoughts on this on this show. Having Tristan on was great. Thank you, Tristan Vautier. Vautier. Yeah, Tristan Vautier.
Yeah, awesome dude, man.
Yeah,
awesome
I'm pretty sure that's German. So he's a very good German driver.
Clearly,
we get behind
no,
no. Tristan Vautier, great dude. Long time good friend. So really love having him on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Missy, final thoughts?
I mean, there's some good racing this weekend. Like I said, I thought the Road America for IndyCar was just a tad boring. But it's always different when you're actually there instead of watching on TV, I guess. So maybe on TV it was better. I'm not sure. So But I did enjoy hanging out with Marty and his family. They were great. And thanks for the Kringle. It was awesome.
Kringles, almond
Kringles,
and
yes.
raspberry.
Yes, they were awesome.
They're all gone, by the way.
So
They didn't make it a night, or well, no, they,
Pringle.
yeah, exactly. Well, Wisconsin natives know, and rock on to your Kringle, everyone.
All right.
It's basically a pastry strudel, but in a circle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
For everyone in the Northeast, Entman's raspberry strudel, but in a
I'm guessing.
big circle.
I'm guessing Kristen made those.
No. They bought them. It's like a Wisconsin thing. They bought
it. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
They got it at the local bakery there.
Gotcha. Kringles. All right.
Yep.
Okay.
And surprisingly, no cheese.
Huh.
I know. I was surprised. Like, don't you guys put cheese on everything here?
On anything and everything.
Well,
right?
you guys just eat it like it's French fries. So, why not?
Right.
I mean, Marty's wife's in the cheese business. I was not shocked. Like, no, yeah. So
yeah, just to run down real fast, the final results for Road America was Joseph Newgard winning, followed by Ryan Hunter-Reay and Scott Dixon was the podium. Then you had Takuma Sato, Robert Wickens, Graham Rahal, Simon Pagino, Spencer Piggott, Ed Jones, James Hinchcliffe was your top 10. And you had Marco Andretti, Jordan King, Sebastian Bourdais, Tony Kanaan, Matthias Lace, Alexander Rossi, Max Chilton, Charlie Kimball, Gabby Chavez, Alfonso Silas Jr., Zachary Clemens Mello, Zach Veach, and Will Power was your finishing order for Road America this year.
who was last there again?
Will Power, yes.
Way to play into the way Christian says it, right?
Yep.
I saw where you were going with that, Frank.
I know you do. That's because we have chemistry, Christian. Unlike I know Missy knew what I was going for, and she just didn't give it to me. Tell me I'm wrong, Miss.
Good job.
Yep, say told you.
And next race up is Iowa. So July 8th will be Iowa, the Corn 300. No race this week. Well, there's a race this weekend, but it's IMSA at Watkins Glen, so 6 hours of the Glen.
Still debating on whether to go or not. We can make it there in a day, but we got Iowa 2 weeks from now, so just got. We'll see. We'll see. Right on. All right. Well, before we go, did I ask Christian your final words, or did I start with Missy, or?
You went with Missy first.
Okay. Well, Christian, final words on this show and what's
Oh no, really man! Just was really happy to get to talk to Tristan, and that was a lot of fun, and just chatting up with you guys about Road America and your experience there live and in person.
Place.
And happy to yes, right, and happy to announce my my brand ambassadorship with the Gleaners Food Bank of Indiana. Anyone listening to the show here in the Hoosier State, please donate money, food, time, whatever. It all helps and goes to a good place with Gleaners. So
definitely. And I try to make sure, Christian, where can they get the great piece of literature?
Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss can be found on My Life and Story, The Outside Groove by Cosby Media Productions can be found on Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, Kodo, Books A Million, and other fine retailers. Soon the Audible version will be available. Get to hear my silky voice tell the story. So yeah.
Well, I mean, what's great about reading the book is I read it in your voice anyway. So, yeah.
Do you? Oh, that's awesome, man.
Well, I mean, when I was being read to by Missy, it was like I could picture talking like you, and it was a little bit weird. At first, but I got through it.
At first, but then, right.
I was like, Missy, can you go deeper for me? Can you go deeper and silky for me?
That's gold. That is gold.
And
I love it.
we always retweet it, and you can find all that good all of our social media. Where, Missy?
That would be www.theindysportscarpodcast.com.
Right on. And on that note.
Yeah, so on that note, you know that I know that, well, Frank and Christian, they seem to know this week. But that's another race weekend down, you know?
Nice.